At this point, Biden's campaign managers, the people that supported Biden, people that are touting for Biden for president, should begin wondering if they are assisting in elderly abuse. Because really they are. The guy is absolutely gone. How do you mix numbers up like this? Biden said mistakenly that 85,000 jobs have been lost in the United States and millions of Americans have died since the pandemic began. Now he's switching the numbers. It's at least 85,000 deaths due to coronavirus and 36 and a half, I think, million jobs have been lost. But how do you make a flub like that if you're anywhere near your right mind? If you, the listener, were running for president and I was a campaign manager and I had advised you, hey, 85,000 Americans have died from COVID-19 and 36, we'll just say 36 and a half, I think it was 36.2 or something like that, 36 and a half million, we'll get the full numbers here in a minute, 36 and a half million jobs have been lost. That's quite a number to switch, thinking 36 million Americans have died and only 85,000 jobs have been lost. That's a hell of a switch. No. That's elder abuse, guys. Come on, get off it already. Get off it. 36.5 million. Hey, I was right. Wow. Presumptive 2020 Democratic nominee Joe Biden bumbled his way through a virtual roundtable he hosted on Thursday afternoon, which is a bad idea. So playing devil's advocate and trying to support Biden and his camp to the fullest, the best way that Biden has to make it to president is to just shut his mouth, not have any roundtables, not have any debates, and just go up with tape over his mouth every time he goes to the podium and just shrug and turn around and walk away. And then someone else can come up and say, well, he had some sort of a lip thing going on and the tape was a medical thing to repair his lips. And here's what Joe Biden really meant. Because that's the kind of presidency you're going to have anyways. Joe Biden will be a puppet, okay? When the elderly get to a point like this, they are easily manipulated and they need to be cared for better. They need someone to watch out for them. And I'm watching out for you, Joe. I really am. Your brain is gone. I feel for you, man. I feel bad. I feel like he's being propped up and put under a spotlight and being made fun of. And I almost feel like the people that are supporting Joe Biden and the people that have put their political weight behind him are kind of like laughing behind his back and getting their jollies off elder abuse. Because that's what this is. Any sane person in their right mind, if your father, your grandfather, whatever, some male, because let's face it, these kinds of mental illnesses disproportionately affect men. Men disproportionately get things like Alzheimer's and things like that. It's just something with the hormones, something with testosterone. It makes the brain go a little bit, I guess. But they're up there, and I just, if it had been your person that you love, and they had started acting like this, you would want to care for them. You would want to say, hey, wait a second, their brain is not there. Their thought process is not there. They are easily manipulated when they get to this point, and they need someone to care for them. Not a bunch of idiots laughing behind their backs at their gaffes, standing up there on stage as they bumble through things, and all the while saying, yeah, let's put this guy for president. Then when he's in there, we'll make all the decisions because he can't. Come on, man. This is just sickening now. This isn't even funny anymore. This is concerning. Speaking of concern of Biden's mental sharpness has been the subject of constant debate ever since he launched his White House bid last April, following a number of blunders he's made during televised interviews and campaign speeches in the months since. And he calls himself the gaffe machine. I mean, Jesus. And the gaffe machine did little to mitigate those apprehensions during a monologue about soaring unemployment levels on Thursday, in which he wrongly claimed 85,000 jobs have been lost in the U.S. as a result of COVID-19 and millions of Americans have died. You see what he did? He switched the numbers. And that's an insight to his mental state. I guarantee you that before he had this roundtable, he had advisors or someone telling him what the numbers were, and he switched them. So it's a small sign, but that small sign tied in with other small signs, tied in with other small signs, become a big sign that his mental state is not there. It's not. The former vice president appears to have gotten his numbers confused. Appears? Appears? It doesn't appear. It is factual. It happened. That's what happened. There's no appearance to it. In reality, at least 85,000 Americans have died, while 36.5 million have lost their jobs. We're in the middle of a pandemic that has cost us more than 85,000 jobs as of today. Lives of millions of people. Millions of people. Millions of jobs, a tongue-tied Biden almost unintelligibly babbled at the beginning of the stream. So as he was saying it, he realized he had said it, and he realized he had said it wrong, and he couldn't correct it. Now, I gaffe all the time on my channel. If you watch my videos, you will see that I bumble all the time, but the majority of the time I notice it, and I will correct it. But him saying lives of millions of people, millions of jobs, is kind of how he did it. Well, okay. By itself, a little bit of a gaffe. But on a whole, tied with everything else, it's concerning, man. And this is the person that people are saying they want to be as president. Why? So you can get your kicks off Biden's gaffes? You know, and we're in a position where, we just got new unemployment insurance this morning. Numbers. 36.5 million claims since this crisis began. Now that little pause right there, someone was holding up a number. Someone was scrambling a number. 36.5 million jobs in big letters, and is like holding it up. And he's like, insurance this morning, numbers 36.5. He's saying as he's reading it. You know that's what happened, right? You know that's what happened. Much like his other live-streamed events, the broadcast was also marred with technical difficulties and audio glitches. But for the most part, Biden managed to rein in the gaffes. Barely. With a struggle. With an absolute struggle. When the stress is on him, okay, all Trump has to do is stress him out. Stress him out physically, no chair, make him stand. If I were Trump, my debate strategy would be this. And it would be abusive to do it to Biden, but this is the strategy I would use. See, I'm trying to portray to you that Biden can't make it because everything that we put Biden through here now until November and thereafter should he win is abuse. Because here's what's going to happen. Here is an elderly man who we know would prefer to sit because he's elderly, who we know would prefer to have a calm mental thing going on, nice, straightforward, because his mental state is not there. If I were Trump, I would want to maximize the gaffes on the very first debate. First, I would absolutely push for as many debates with Biden as possible. Secondly, I would absolutely make sure that it was a standing debate. There are no chairs. If, for some reason, the moderator decides that Biden gets a chair, I would absolutely shine a light on it and point it out, and I would not let it die. Two, I would make multiple questions with multiple variable answers and layers and shoot them at Biden, so that way he would have to think about multiple things at the same time, throwing him off of his elderly brain guard and maximizing the gaffes. Biden will not stand up in a debate. Okay? Right now he is in a controlled environment with advisors around him that you can't see off camera. What is he going to do with a debate when an off-the-cuff question is asked? Start asking the audience and people and Americans to start doing push-ups and call them weird, crazy, horse-face names? No. Come on, people. This is sickening now. This isn't even funny. You're abusing an elderly person now for shits and giggles, and it's not funny. President Trump has routinely poked fun at Biden regarding his well-documented stumbles and slips of the tongue, suggesting the Democrat is mentally unfit to hold office. He is. He is. Last week, in response to Biden teaming up with former rival Bernie Sanders to name Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez co-chairwoman of a climate change panel, Trump said, if you asked him who he named, he wouldn't even know it. Joe has absolutely no idea what's happening. Joe Biden has an idea what's happening, but he's confusing scenarios. He's confusing events, and in his ploy to, I don't know, be more accessible to the average American by calling people names and making them do push-ups and calling people fat and calling people horse-faced pony liars or something, it doesn't make him look cute. And I know he's trying to, like, cover his gaffes with cuteness almost, but, yeah, no. When quizzed about the prospect of Biden leading the economic recovery if he's elected in November, Trump said, Biden can't do it. He doesn't know he's alive. Well, he's a puppet, for sure. Is this really the person that we want to represent the United States? I mean, you can let me know in the comments. Tell me. Is Biden your man? Is Biden the one that you want to represent the United States on the world stage? Is Biden the one that you trust to make hard decisions? I'm not a Trump supporter, but between Biden and Trump, yeah. You're not even giving the American people a choice. I don't understand this. This whole political environment nowadays is just so topsy-freaking fucked up turvy. During Thursday's roundtable, Biden was joined via video by Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy, and Connecticut Governor Ned Lamont to discuss the ongoing coronavirus pandemic. Biden told Governor Whitmer she's done one hell of a job leading her state through the COVID-19 outbreak following a series of high-profile clashes with anti-lockdown protesters. Whitmer's lockdown is quite heavy-handed. I don't think Joe Biden praising her was the right move for the average American, not for the visuals of it. But it's elderly abuse. I don't see any way around it. Now, that said, dissenting opinions, someone out there, I know someone out there, supports Biden and thinks Biden is the bee's knees. Biden is the way to go. Biden is the future of the United States. So, that person out there, please convince me how Biden is the person. How Biden is going to lead us through to economic and social recovery. How do you see that? And I know people believe that because, well, he got nominated. He's the presumptive nominee anyways. Someone convinced me. Anyways, I love you guys. I gotta go bust my ass for the day. I'll see you guys in the next one.